y'all doing? So, I watched CNN yesterday, and they had this white chick come on in and talk about the psychology and all this other crap. But what they don't talk about, white racism and guns. Two prevalent themes that run neck and neck, and it's an inheritance. And this white cat, no different than Dylan Roof and Kyle Rittenhouse, all of them in the same boat. And they're younger, but it gets passed down like an inheritance. Just like the NRA, that racist National Rifle Association, all that garbage, this is what gets passed down. Guns thrown around, white racism rhetoric thrown around. There is no United States. Divided states, not united. And the culprit of it all is white folks. The majority, not all, but the majority, because everything is still set as the white man's rules. The proclamations, all that stuff. Hollywood promotes gun toting situations. The insecure nature is crazy and scary. But this white boy who got busted in Buffalo is no different than the characters that I've seen in American History X, you know, or Higher Learning. Mm-hmm. White boy gets told they taking your jobs, they taking your country, they taking your women, they taking your sports. You see that rhetoric. But who owns everything? Who has a say so on everything? I don't see any black folks like Elon Musk who can put a place like Twitter on hold for 44 billion. And you don't see black folks running around saying, well, we're going to shoot everybody up on a basis like this. This white cat had messages put out. Where was the FBI at? Why didn't they track him? Because he was white. And they let it after the fact. When you're black, they hit the cars quick. When you're white, it's after the effect. But white racism and guns have always gone hand in hand in America with three Ks. They can't help themselves because, excuse me, when you have people who oppose learning about the true history of America, this is what happens. Fox News, DeSantis, Trump, Steve Bannon, all of them. Go back to Cal Thomas, um, all of them. Howard Stern just floating that boat too. Mm-hmm. All of them. Rush Limbaugh promoted that garbage. Marjorie Taylor Greene. See, they get sellouts like Ted Cruz and DeSantis to jump on board of it. This is what they want. They want the whole insurrection is this kid could actually crawl through that window at the insurrection. Think about it. We had open treason on a federal property January of last year. And no Trump has not been charged like he should. But everybody getting subpoenaed, they tap dancing around it. We don't have no justice in America. They come after black folks. They don't touch. And the NRA and all of them are in on it. You don't get a gun like that because you just happen to find it on eBay or Facebook or some thrift store, something like that. And the ideas that are planted in your head. Let me tell you something. CNN them can, sugarcoat and talk. They don't want to tell the truth. The media is racist. They don't want to come out and say that the real enemies of the state are white men. They don't want to tell the truth. They don't want to tell the truth about how the real terror has always been in America with three Ks. Because you don't go from the Ku Klux Klan, the police, the CIA, the government, all that, without having inner terror. That's been here. And the slave ships, everything you want to talk about. So when you see this kid yesterday, his crime is heinous and wrong. However, he was following doctor's orders because that's the diagnosis that America puts out here. The dysfunction to accept and to tolerate racism as normality and to accept and to tolerate violence and attack as a normality. See, I don't care about people coming on talking about, well, what we gonna do to solve it? What you gonna do to solve it? Well, besides reparations and getting the real facts straight about history in America, and the other thing is that you would have to, you know, tell the truth for a change and stop whitewashing. But again, the inheritance that is passed down is what they want. They don't ever want to share this country. And see, when you feel you're white and privileged, you go off and kill people. And they've done it. They had lynch parties on postcards where black folks were getting barbecued 100 years ago. That's where the term barbecue came from. So don't act like this is something new. As a matter of fact, I'm sure they probably took him out to get a meal before they took him in. I mean, he was clean when he went into the cop car. He was clean. How many black folks that get arrested and apprehended even make it inside the paddy wagon without a wound or blood on their face? This white kid was clean. And they send it to you all the time. Because some of them agents that locked him up are in on the same thing. They just more low key and hush hush about it. And like I said, there's enemies from within. The spies, the haters. This is what's up. So that's my thoughts and takes about white racism and guns, how they go hand in hand. And the guns should be banned. It's hard to change the white racism because they've been so privileged for so long, unless reparations and other things. But, mark my word, you definitely see a civil war possibility because there's never been no justice, no peace here. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for one another, and check me out on the Patreon. And this ain't all over. There'll be another one in a few weeks because they act like they care, but the media has to stir this up because they are covering, and they're covering white racism. Come on.